Welcome back to another episode of the BambooSZN Podcast. I'm your host, sober wellness coach Dorian Wormsley, the podcast where me and my guests share our raw, true stories to help you feel inspired, motivated, stories of resilience, transformation, and growth. My guest today has an amazing story. She is a high wire walker. I know, right? What? A costume designer, a speaker, a mother, and a phenomenal woman. I bring you Lijana Wallenda.
That's it.
Hey.
Hi. You got it.
I was nervous. I was like, damn, we just talked about it to make sure I get your name right. So we met initially at the National Speaker Association monthly meeting. I was doing my speech competition. I gave my story, told my story, and then you came up to me after and you related. And that was my first time telling it like that.
Yeah.
In front of people, especially in front of different speakers.
Yeah.
So then to hear you come up and be like, oh man, a part about falling and being in the hospital, I was like, whoa.
It was crazy. I was like, wait, no, it's like you're telling I was like, you stole my story. It was crazy. Yeah. I mean, so many parallels I drew with what you were talking about your story. Because I too fell from a high height.
Yeah. And that's so funny. That reminds me of, what movie is it?
I don't know.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
I mean, really long time ago, I feel like. I don't remember it.
Well, there was a scene where the white dude and his wife were getting into it, and she was like, Billy, I want you to say, I too am thirsty. But anyways, when you said I too fell.
I too fell.
People who've seen it, they'll probably remember. But anywho, so yes, we met there, and then the part of my story that you related to, you told me, was the having a trach and you know, obviously falling, but you understood how it feels to have a trach in your throat.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And that shit is different.
So different. So I don't know. I don't remember if you told the first moment. Like, do you remember when they told you? Did they tell you they were going to put a trach in and all? Do you remember any of that? Because I don't.
No, I was in a coma.
Yeah. Me too. Medically induced coma. But
yeah, exactly same.
So the accident happened, which we'll go into more.
Yeah.
But the accident happened, and I was totally alert and aware until I got to the hospital. They put me in a medically induced coma. And the next thing I remember vividly is waking up in the middle of the night, and it's like I'm not breathing, and I'm trying to breathe, and I see my mom, and I'm going, Mom, I can't breathe. And my mom just looks at me, and I hear there's no sound coming out. And I literally, that was the moment. It's like, it felt like there's the Twilight Zone movie back way before your time, I'm sure, a very long time ago, the Twilight Zone movie. And there's a scene where a girl either shot from her from behind, and she turns her head and she had no mouth. And I remember thinking about that scene, like, what happened? I can't breathe. I can't talk. Yeah. I didn't realize I had a trach tube, I had a feeding tube. My jaw was wired shut. It was insane. It was intense. That was the moment I thought I was going to die. And that moment, and I just started praying because I was like, okay, I can't get anyone's attention, you know. But then I soon realized I wasn't dying.
Wow.
It doesn't feel the same, right? When you're breathing through a hole in your neck,
No.
I don't feel like your lungs expand the same way. You don't feel that air pass through your throat. And it was trippy. I remember like days after, my dad would sit with me and I'd be like, pat my dad and tell him to look and make sure I was getting enough oxygen, because it didn't feel like it. It was weird, you know? So did you have the whiteboard? Did they give you a whiteboard? That's how I communicated.
So when I had my trach, I have pictures of me with my trach in, but I don't even remember. I wasn't coherent.
Really?
I was like doped up, I guess, because the pictures in me, I'm trying to brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Whatever, and the whole thing's in my throat.
Oh, wow.
I can't even remember. I know for sure after I could feel the hole.
Sure.
To where I was trying to talk, and like because the air was coming out, so I had to close in my hand.
Yep.
And talk, and then it was just wild situation.
It's wild. It was wild. Yeah. So I really related, because you don't meet a lot of people that have had whenever I see someone with a scar, I right away, I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a story. They have a story.
So the only people who have been able to know when they see it are people I know who are in the medical field.
Okay.
They'll look and be like, yeah, the trach, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. I kind of forget sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I tell them the story and like, oh wow.
Yeah.
So let's get into you.
Sure.
You are a high wire walker.
I am.
These are the kind of people I want to hear stories from.
All right.
Because that's some stuff I've never thought of meeting somebody. I've seen on shows and, whatever throughout my life, but I never. So it's like, let's get in. How do you become how'd you get into becoming a high wire walker? Let's go back.
Okay. So I am 7 generations in the circus industry. My family dates back to the 1780s, performing in circuses in Europe.
Where's your family from? What is your background? I've always been curious.
German, Italian. That's
Okay.
the circus side of the family.
Okay.
So 4 generations ago, my great grandfather, he was a hand balancer, did handstands, and was performing in a beer garden. And the contract was about to be up, and it was really tough times. It was like during the war times and all. And the family would have to go work in coal mines between contracts to make ends meet. And he didn't want to do that. And he saw an ad in the back of this newspaper or some kind of publication from a high wire troupe looking for a hand balancer. And he answered the ad. And the rest is history. He fell madly in love with it. Trained his own family members, had his own troupe. In 1928, John Ringling of Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, saw the family performing in Cuba, hired them, brought them to the United States. And we've been here in the United States ever since. But he was amazing. He was a celebrity back in the day. He was on all, like Johnny Carson, like all the late night TV shows. He was on all of them. And I don't know, it was just a different time, man. He was like all the older generation, they hear my last name and they right away know, you know?
Really?
Yeah. He really brought the name to fame back in the, early 1900s, mid 1900s.
So then he was a handstand walker.
Hand balancer, but became a wire walker.
Oh, became a wire
Correct.
walker. So
yes, he joined the high wire troupe.
Got it.
And became a high wire walker and just fell in love with wire walking. He's famously quoted saying, "Life is on the wire, the rest is just waiting," because he loved it so much. And it's funny because like my brother, my mom, we all kind of follow that too.
Yeah.
Like there's just something so peaceful and just so, I don't know, there's something wonderful about
being on a high wire.
Yeah, listen, there's 2 sides of it.
Yeah.
Like after my accident, I'll tell you a little bit more. I did a walk last week or 2 weeks ago with my brother, and there's 2 sides of it.
Is that the video you posted?
Yeah, recently, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was it like, what was the situation? It wasn't just on a wire, or was it?
It was for a youth conference.
Yeah.
And my brother was telling about the accident. And then he was telling about how I fell. The doctors didn't know if I'd survive the night. And then he says, but she did survive. She's here tonight. And then I walked out on the wire.
Wow,
and so we were speaking to the audience from the wire. And then we sat down on the wire, 40, 50 feet in the air, and took Q&A. And it was not comfortable. It was 20 minutes we were sitting up there. But it was okay. We did it. Let me tell you, it gets a little uncomfortable after a while.
So that was your great-grandfather that started it, you said?
Started the wire walking in the family, yes.
And then
my grandmother, they kept going down generations. My mom was 6 months pregnant with me performing still. So like I've been on a wire before.
Before you was even born.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So we always had a low wire, a couple of feet off the ground in our backyard.
Yeah.
And I don't remember not being able to walk that wire. So
really?
Yeah, because as kids you play like your mom and dad and play around. So yeah, my brother and I started young.
That is so interesting. Just go outside and walk the wire at 5, 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Damn, girl, that's dope. So then, as you're growing up as a kid, you kind of knew that was going to be what you wanted to do?
I back and forth. My brother seemed to like get everything a little quicker than me. He was caught on quicker, so I kind of was like, I don't want to do this. He's better than me for a while when I was real little. But when I was 13, I decided I wanted to perform professionally up high with my parents. So they said, okay, we'll go in the back and train on the low wire. And so I did for a few weeks, and they saw I was serious. They came and started working with me, and I made my professional debut at 13. And that's when I got really bit by the performing bug,
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I love it,
That's so cool.
Thank you.
So then you begin at 13, you start doing your walking. What was, outside of the wire walking, what was like your childhood growing up with your family? How was the dynamic?
Yeah.
Where?
So it was my mom, my dad, my brother, and myself. We traveled the country in an Airstream trailer, one of those silver kind of old school trailers.
Like Hills Have Eyes?
Oh, maybe.
Have you seen that?
I have seen it, but again, I don't remember my movies very well. Okay. But yeah, like a silver kind of rounded trailer. So we traveled in that, performing in every big city, most little cities all across the country, with our dogs. It was the 4 of us all the time. Very close knit family. We were homeschooled, but when we'd go back to our home in Florida in the winter, we would fit right back into the same curriculum with our private school we were enrolled in. So we had a little bit of the school life and the traveling life, and it was great. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever miss the idea or feeling of like friends and those type of things because you're always gone,
Yeah, no, I mean, I had friends. So the circus is a small community. So there were different kids my age that would be in this town with me and maybe not the next one, but maybe,
Oh.
And then school, like to this day, I met my best friend that's still my best friend when she was 3 and I was 4 at school. So it's like, I had the best of both worlds,
Did you ever want to do anything outside of the walking?
I mean, in the circus, I did a lot of different disciplines, but as far as not performing, not really. I really fell in love with performing when I started when I was 13. When I was younger, I did. I had wanted to be a marine biologist. I don't know why. I'm a costume designer now and work at a show here in Vegas, and I love that. But performing always supersedes that. It's just my passion,
And you kind of touched on it, but within the circus, you've thought about doing other things?
Yeah, I have. I've done many. Oh yeah, like the aerial silks, the aerial like the aerial hoop, which is like the kind of hula hoop look thing that's in the air. All different aerial stuff mostly. I've done.
Really? You just be up in the air.
Sway poles, which is a pole that's like 60 feet in the air, and you climb up and sway, and then switch poles in midair.
What?
With the other. Yeah, so I've done a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
That's gotta helped you kind of not have fear.
No, you know what? So it's still scary sometimes. When you stand off the edge of a building and look down and about to take a step on a wire, and the people look like the size of ants below you, I don't care how much you've trained, it's still scary. But what it's taught me is to have a strong mind, because I remember how many millions of hours I spent on that wire practicing. I remember I always do everything at least 3 times longer what I would do in a performance, because I want to have that much extra strength if anything does go wrong. So I remind myself I am strong. I was born for this. I am qualified because I have trained so hard. And even though your mind's saying, but the stakes are so high, it's like, no, but it doesn't matter. 2 feet off the ground or 250 feet in the air, it's the same thing, So it's taught me to be really good at stress management, to deal with a bunch of things coming at me at once, So yeah, it's about having a strong mind more than anything, I think.
Damn. And let's get into the accident that happened. Yeah. So how did that occur? How old were you?
Sure.
What was the situation?
So it was 8 years ago. My brother, I was already living in Vegas at that point, and my brother called and he said that him and his high wire troop were about to train to break a world record on the wire. It was going to break our own world record for the 4-level 8-person pyramid on the wire. And so he asked if I wanted to come do it. And I said, yeah, of course, because I don't want to give up my world record. So my great-grandfather made the 7-person pyramid famous on the wire. It's like there'll be 2 people standing on the wire, and they'll have a bar between their shoulders. And then there's 2 people in front of them standing on the wire with a bar between their shoulders. And then there's a person on top of the bar and the other bar. And then there's another bar between the second level. And then there's a person on the top level. So that's the 7, which I did the top of that for a very long time. I stand on a chair on top of that. But this was the 8. So there was a person standing on the top and someone sat on their shoulders. And so it was 4 levels, 8 people. So we had done that in 2001 in Japan, and we hold the Guinness World Record for that still to this day. We were going to do the same pyramid at a higher height. And we had trained, and we had done it successfully many times. And it was one of the final rehearsals before the show was to open. So we were in the tent at full height. And the guys below me, I was on the 2nd level of that one. So the guys below me walked out. And I remember feeling really good. And I remember saying out loud, guys, this feels great. And then within seconds of that statement, I felt this jolt. It was something I'd never felt in my life. We still don't know exactly what happened. There's so much room. Any little person makes a movement, it's going to make more movement and goes up and down the pyramid. So we don't know exactly what happened, but I felt this jolt. And I remembered that I need to be as solid as I can because I have a bar on my shoulders and 2 people are on top of that bar. So I remember being as solid as I could, and you use your balancing pole, keep yourself steady on the wire. So my balancing pole is moving. I remember it going up and down and up, and it went all the way, and it pulled me off. And I stayed really calm. It's crazy. It's I don't know. I was calm, and it's like, okay, what do I do next? And I remembered that my parents had taught my brother and I to always turn and grab the wire if we were to fall. So I turned to look at the wire. It was below me, but it was too far away because I was in the 2nd level and I fell away. And so I saw this wire below me rise above me. And then I thought, okay, what do I do? And I have a son, and he was 5 at the time. And I don't know why in my head, I was like, I need my strong side, my right side to be able to pick him up. And I remember trying to twist to the left, and I must have, because I broke mostly the left side of my body. I don't know exactly what happened. But yeah, and then I just saw there was a big round red mat inside the circus ring, and I saw it getting closer and closer until I smacked into it. never lost consciousness. The wind was knocked out of me.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, the wind was just knocked out of me. And I was like, okay, I'm okay. And I was trying to get up because I was so worried about everyone else. So worried. And my brother, he was able to catch the wire because he was on the bottom level, and he safely made his way down so fast. We don't know how he got down so fast. He was at my side right away, and he kept saying, "Don't get up." And I kept going, "I'm fine." And there's even video of me kicking my legs because my great uncle had fallen in the 7-person pyramid back in 1962, and he was paralyzed from the waist down his whole life.
Wow.
So I remember thinking about that, and I was like, "I'm fine. Look, I can move." But my brother kept saying, "No, stay down." And what he said is that my face, you couldn't recognize me at all within a minute of the accident. He said my face was swollen, so big. I had no idea. I thought I was fine. But I laid there, and the pain started to set in, you know. And then it seemed like an eternity for the paramedics to get there, but they finally arrived, got me in the gurney, got me in the ambulance. My brother jumped in with them. I remember him yelling out to my dad because my dad had just arrived as the ambulance was taking off. And that broke my heart. I remember just saying, "Dad, we're going to this hospital." I just was like, my parents, oh my gosh. But, made it to the hospital, and then everything goes blurry. They put me in a medically induced coma once I got there. And so it was pretty crazy. The doctors told my dad they didn't know if I'd survive the night, but I did. Had several surgeries, but wasn't real aware of it. I had that moment I was talking about with waking up, breathing through the trach tube. Had several surgeries. So I'll tell you my injuries. I broke my left calcaneus, which is a bone in your heel. It was tenting the skin out, which doesn't seem that bad, but the doctors say that's a really bad injury. As far as long-term quality of life, I'm fine, thank God. But that was the first surgery. Then I broke my humerus. The bone here was completely snapped. So I still have a long plate and screws in there. They did the trach tube, the feeding tube, all that. And then I broke every single bone on my face. Everything from here, not my skull, but everything from here down was shattered. So, I had a long surgery. It was I believe it was 72 plates and screws in my face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Going to the airport must suck.
You think, yeah. Yeah. I, didn't even realize until I got home from the hospital all the injuries I had, quite honestly. I mean, there was so much. I didn't know I had a feeding tube for a week and a half. I was like, oh, didn't even think about eating, The doctors thought I'd be in the hospital or some kind of recovery facility for 3 months. Then they would come in, they'd see, my family was surrounding me, and it wasn't all sad and upset. I mean, I have great memories in the hospital just because, you find the joy in everything. Sure, it was a terrible circumstance, but we'd be laughing at whatever was going on that day. They'd see that I was in good spirits and that I had a really supportive family. And they'd think maybe 2 months. And then, they'd see that I would lay in bed and I would do crunches. And I had all these tubes hanging out me, but I was like, okay, I can keep my abs a little bit strong. I'd stand on my one good leg and do mini squats, whatever little exercise I could figure out that I could do with all this stuff going on, I would do. And I got out in 10 days, which is incredible. They couldn't believe it. Had to go home to my parents' house. It was my hometown this accident happened in, so my parents were there. So I did need them. I wasn't home just to be on my own. They had to feed me through the tube and all. It was pretty intense. But I got out in 10 days, stayed down in Florida for 2.5 months to kind of get enough health that I could come back to Vegas. So 2.5 months later, came back with my little boy to Vegas. My mom came with me for a bit. But we discovered that the bones in my face weren't quite lined up properly. My lower jaw, my bite didn't match up. Mm-hmm. So my lower jaw was a little off to the side. You couldn't see it from the outside, but it wasn't functional. So about 1.5 years after the accident, had to go back down to Florida to this new surgeon I found. And she did a 9-hour surgery, broke every single bone in my face again, almost every single bone again, and reset them. And that was really tough. To me, that was harder than the accident. I don't know. I think because I felt like I'd come so far, and then it was all these steps back, right? But, had that surgery. It takes years to heal from that. Your face is big and swollen for a long time after that, right? But, had that surgery. Came back to Vegas. I was able to come back quicker because the rest of my body wasn't broken that time. And about 2 months after the surgery, my brother called me and he said, I was just in New York City in Times Square. I got permission to stretch a wire across Times Square. It was going to be a live primetime special on TV. My brother's done this. He's walked across the Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls.
Really?
Oh yeah, all like Discovery Channel. Like he's won Emmys for them and stuff. He's done a lot of TV specials.
Shout out to your brother.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Nick Wallenda.
Nick Wallenda. What up, man?
Yeah.
Get you on the pod next.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So he called me and said he was going to do this walk across Times Square. And I was like, great, this is normal for my family. So I was like, awesome, I'll be there. And he goes, you want to do it with me?
Oh.
And right away I said yes, because it's my passion, right? I love it. And I was really excited, and I was training in my backyard here in Vegas, a wire a couple feet off the ground. And then I went down to Florida to start training, and I stepped in a wire that was 15 foot high. So not super high, but higher than I'd been since the accident. And that's when the PTSD hit me. I didn't have any idea that would hit me, but all I kept seeing was the big round red mat in the circus ring getting closer to my face as I was walking the wire. I kept reliving the accident over and over, and I kept, hearing these lies in my head saying, you're not good enough for this anymore. What do you think you're doing? And it was really hard, but it's not in me to give up. And I kept going, no, I got to come back. I got to practice, but I didn't want to do it. Something I loved so much, I absolutely hated. I did not want to walk the wire. I was like, why am I doing this? I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I failed, right? I fell. But I committed to this, so I kept going and practicing. And the time came where we moved to a wire that was 50 feet high to start training on. So my brother, they're training, and I was so rigid and stiff, and it was so scary. Like every step was just fear, and hearing these lies, all this insecurity about myself and who I was. Because when your whole life you're a high wire walker, and then you get so broken and everything's stripped away from you. Who are you? Like, who am I anymore? So my identity was stripped away. I'm hearing all these lies in my head that I'm not good enough. But, before the accident, I would literally be on top of a 7-person pyramid standing in a chair thinking about, what I wanted to do the next day or whatever, because I was really comfortable. I was confident. I was comfortable. But I was just, every step I was so focused on during this training because it was scary.
Yeah.
And this particular day, I tell this all the time, so I hope I'm not sounding, I don't know, I feel like I'm repeating it, but
you have to tell it every time.
Okay.
People don't be listening.
Okay. So I'm walking on the wire, and I noticed there's dragonflies, and there's tons of dragonflies. They kept landing.
This is the practice or the actual?
No, this is the practice, 50 feet in the air.
50 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm. And they kept landing on the wire in front of me and then flying off right before I got there. And I was looking at them and thinking about all of them and how pretty they were. And then I realized my mind is wandering again. And in that moment, I literally remembered how much I love walking the wire. Like, I love walking the wire. I love the way my foot feels sliding across the wire. I love the weight of the balancing pole on my arms and using it to balance in that wire. And, I was thinking I'm not good at this. Tears are streaming down my face because it was so emotional. I made it to the other platform safely off the wire, and there was a man up there to help me off. And he goes, what's wrong? And I promise this is I don't know where it came from. I just blurted out, I forgot who I was. I have no idea why I said that. That wasn't even something in me. I didn't even quite register what a big deal that was in the moment, because I forgot that I'm a good wire walker. I've done this for so long. I've done so many different things on the wire, and I started to believe those lies. I started to believe that I'm not good enough, that I'm, who am I? It was such a powerful moment, that remembering that I can do this. And I think it's so powerful because we've all been through many things. We've all fallen off our wires, right? I've had other things in my life, that have been very traumatic and all that has also felt like it stripped my identity away. And I think that happens to all of us. We get pieces of our confidence stripped away, and we forget what we're capable of, and we forget what our full potential is. And I think a lot of us just kind of give up and say, okay, and don't go for it. Don't go for that, maybe that job that they want or whatever it might be. And that's okay. And it would be okay if I stopped walking the wire. No one would have faulted me. But isn't that sad if I wasn't living in my full potential and doing what I love? I think that it's so important that we look inside ourselves and realize what we're capable of. We're capable of so much more than we realize. Even if we had a fall, we can always come back up, get back up there and remember who you are,
Damn. It's interesting. Some of the story you're saying, as I was thinking about, it's so similar to mine.
Yeah.
In so many ways of the fall, the trach, the feeding tube, all that. And then I had to go myself also while I was in the hospital, pushing myself through physical therapy.
Yeah. Because
I knew in my head, I was like, I got to get out of this hospital.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
Yeah.
And they were like, we can't let you go until, you can move to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to get you out of here with physical therapy and stuff. So then every day it's so wild now that I'm able to do all these things, run, jump. But I remember laying in the hospital bed and they give me a cup of Play-Doh and they're like, you have to take the Play-Doh out, back and forth. And I could barely do it. I was like, and in the moment, I didn't think to myself, oh my God, this is all I can do. I was just excited to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then when I reflect now that I'm more able and capable of doing things, I'm like, wow, to think that was the highlight for me.
Yeah.
That, and then just using a mini band and walking a few steps.
Yeah.
And I remember when they first took me out of the hospital bed and to try to walk. I had a walker, had 2 people with me. They're like, try to walk down the hallway. And I was excited because I'm like, cool, if I can make it, they're going to let me go.
Yeah.
Man, I got from the bed to the door, which is probably, 20 feet.
Yeah.
And anxiety started kicking in.
Yeah.
I started panicking. I was like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Take me back to my bed. Take me back.
Yeah.
Took me back to my bed. And then I felt like a bitch. Straight up. I was like, just so hard on myself. And I'm like, and granted, as time went on, I finally, gathered the strength and was able to start walking further and further down the hallway. But I remember that first time, just the anxiety hit. I was scared to leave the hospital even.
Yeah,
when they released me.
Sure.
Because I was in there 3 weeks. Never left the bed.
Wow.
Went to the bathroom sometimes.
Yeah.
No, not even. I don't think I even shit the whole time I was there. 3 weeks in the bed, not outside, no nothing.
Wow.
So when they finally released me, I remember being so scared to leave the hospital.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, it's almost danger again.
Yeah.
The hospital's safe, controlled. Something happens. There's doctors, nurses here.
Mm-hmm.
Once I leave here, I'm back into the dangerous world. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, sure.
And then having to go back and live with my mom, kind of similar to you.
Yeah.
You had to go back to your parents.
I did, yeah. I
had to stay with my mom, sleeping on her couch and going through that pain. I didn't take pain pills or anything. I just felt it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you break your ribs, there's no real cast or nothing. It just hurts to cough, breathe, twist, move. And then I left the hospital after 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, 4-story window, 3 weeks. But surprisingly enough, I didn't break no bones.
Really?
Yeah, like I fractured my spine.
Well, your ribs. Did you say your ribs?
Oh yeah, I guess I did break. I broke like 4 or 5 ribs.
Broke some ribs too, yeah.
But no arm, no leg. I mean, my knees are kind of messed up cartilage-wise, but for the most part, no major bone breakage.
Wow.
Which is so interesting to me.
It is interesting. It's all in the way you fall. You just never know.
Like I had a guest on here. Shout out to Sarah, the walking quad. She fell from a rock climbing incident. I think hers was 40 feet. Paralyzed from the. They said she was paralyzed.
Yeah.
But then time went on. She's on Instagram now. She's walking.
Wow.
I saw her jump for the first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, after
good for her.
I think 20, 30 years.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, they initially thought it was paralyzed because it was damaged, not severed, her spinal. But when I hear stories, it's so interesting how different they are, even though they're similar, but different.
Sure.
Like you fell about 40 feet.
Yeah.
Mine was about 40.
Yeah.
Your body shattered.
Yeah.
Mine somewhat. PTSD. Your PTSD sounded like it hit you a little differently than mine.
It did, yeah.
My PTSD was never replaying the memory. But part of it is because I was so drunk, I was blacked out, I don't remember it.
Sure.
Which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
I would hate to have the visual
it's true.
of me falling down from 4 stories.
I know, I remember every bit, yeah.
But my PTSD was more so in the agitation, avoidance, dissociation.
Okay.
More psychological things that I was struggling with.
Sure.
And I wanted to talk about the accident.
Wow.
Easily irritated.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy. You're a survivor. Need it.
Like Destiny's Child.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, what, I know you kind of touched on it. You said, you kind of just loved it so much that it pushed you to want to go back on. Was there a fear of it?
Well, yeah. I didn't think so until I stepped on that wire and started, when I told you when I went to the 15-foot, I didn't think so. And so, look, I had kind of my breakthrough moment. I had my remember who I am moment. And I went on to Times Square. Times Square was the highest, longest walk of my career.
Really? So you ended up doing it with your brother?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And it was like world record?
It wasn't a world record, but it was on live primetime TV. So, no pressure. But
in New York, one of the biggest cities ever.
Right. With all the people below us. But how
high up was it?
250 feet.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
25 stories. So yeah, about 250
And how long was the walk?
I always forget if it's 1250 or 1750. 1250 feet or somewhere in there within that 500-foot range. Yeah. So it was all across.
You walked 500 feet?
No, I walked more. It was either 1,250 feet across or 1,750. So you know where the ball drops on New Year's Eve in Times Square?
Yeah.
That's where I started and walked to the other tower across.
So it's what? That's longer than like a football field?
Took me like 40 minutes.
What?
Yeah. I was walking slow, but yeah, it took me something like that. 30 something, 40, something like that. Yeah.
Oh
no, yeah. So my brother and I met in the middle. I sat down, he stepped over me, and then we both went to the other ends.
What do you mean you sat down?
Yeah, I sat down.
You sat down in the middle of the wire.
On the wire, uh-huh.
How many? 250 feet up.
Uh-huh.
You're about 1,500 feet in.
Yeah.
Roughly, or maybe more or less.
Yeah, halfway. So I was probably about 750 feet in, something like that, 800 feet in, yeah. Sat down, then my brother stepped over me. Yeah.
What's it? 100 yards times 3 is 300. So football field is 300 feet, roughly, right?
Okay. I don't know football well enough.
Yeah. All you need to know is go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, not Raiders?
No. I love your support. Thank you.
Kind of lost
But
faith,
anyways,
are you?
I'm just shocked still because however long it is, I could be fucking 10 feet. But so you walk to the middle, you sit down.
Yeah.
And your brother walks over you.
Steps over me, yeah.
You get back up.
Yeah. And walk the opposite directions, yeah.
You guys are different.
We are, yeah, I guess we're different.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yep.
That's wow. Okay.
But I'll tell you what. So where I was going with this is like, so it's still scary. All that, I had that remembering who I was moment, but still when you're looking off the edge of a building 250 feet in the air, it's still really scary, right? And that's where the strong mind comes in. That's where you have to say, no, I've trained so much. I've trained so hard. I can do this 3, 4, 5 times in a row with no problem because I've trained that hard. It's still scary though. You say, no, I can do this. And fear isn't one and done because I just did this walk 2 weeks ago with my brother. Mm-hmm. And I was down in Florida training and I was so ready. I was like confident. It's the sitting down and standing up that for some reason makes me nervous, and it's irrational.
For some reason.
Well, it's irrational because the way I have to put my balancing pole on the wire and kind of press on it to stand up. And in my head, I'm always worried it's going to go one way or the other because when I did fall, the pole is what took me off. And so it's an irrational thing. And I say, no, it's fine. But it was the night before this walk with my brother 2 weeks ago, and I had this costume I had made, and I was like, I better go sit down on the 10-foot wire in the backyard and just to try it out. So I went and sat down, and it was really restricting, this costume. And I had put all these stretchy panels, but it was like really, really restricting. But I did it like 5 times, and then I was like, I'm just going to push through. I'm going to do this. This is ridiculous. And the 6th time I stood up, and it was perfectly safe, but it wasn't good. My foot wasn't sure-footed when it got on because I was restricted in that costume. And you don't want to think about that when you're up there 50 feet in the air with no safety or anything, right? So I was like, okay. And my sister-in-law saw it too, so I was like, it's not just in my head. So I was like, okay. So my mom, my sister-in-law, and I all stayed up till 2 a.m. working on a new version of a costume that was stretchy enough. But the whole time I did the walk the next day, I kept seeing that image of me falling. And I wasn't nervous at all. And I kept hearing in my head, you are not, what are you doing? You're not good at this. You're a failure. I kept hearing that. And I kept saying, no, I am so qualified. I am an elite athlete when it comes to wire walking. I've trained so hard, but it's interesting, And my brother even said, hey, if you're too nervous, just back in. And for a split second, I thought, I'm just going to back in. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to back in. I've trained so hard for this. And so I did. I sat down. We did, I think I told you, a 20-minute Q&A on the wire. So we sat there, took questions and answers from the audience. And then it was a time to stand up. And I'm nervous, right? I'm nervous. But I did it. And it was like so easy. And it was flawless. But it's about pushing past those nervous points. Because I know it's not like I'm jumping up there and I've never practiced. If I said, hey, go up there, Dorian, you're fine. Oh. That would be foolish because... Oh. If I trained you hard, that's one thing. But if you haven't done it, but I've trained for this. So I have to remind myself that. And that's kind of, it still comes back sometimes, right? But once I get past that, then it's all fun. Then it's home. Wire's home for me. That's for our family. It's like home. We love it, So So yeah, it's interesting because it's not like, yes, I've conquered my fear and it's all wonderful and I am so brave all the time. No, I mean, I guess I am brave because there's that fear, but I still do it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Wait, so when you guys did The Wire in New York.
Yes.
You sat down for 20 minutes?
No, this was the one 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, this was the youth conference I did 2 weeks ago.
Gotcha. And how high was that?
40 to 50 feet high.
And you guys are just chilling for 20 minutes sitting on the wire?
Uh-huh. Yeah. My brother kept moving around and kicking the wire, and I wanted to say, stop it! Because I wasn't so comfortable. He was like, fine. I was like, but I just sat there chill. Yeah. Yep.
This is crazy. Whoa. I've watched your videos, but just hearing, I'm getting anxiety thinking about it of myself up there. What was I going to say to you? I forgot.
I'll come back.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Yeah, come.
Damn, that is so cool. Yeah, that's scary. So after you make your comeback, at what point did you decide you wanted to get into the speaking space?
So when I did the Times Square walk with my brother, it was broadcast live on primetime TV, and I got so many responses, so many people reaching out, saying how I inspired them to get through this or that or whatever. And I was like, okay, I need to be speaking because I didn't go through all this pain and all this trauma to not pass on some of that to someone else, help someone who's going through something hard themselves. And so that's when I thought, yeah, I got to start speaking. And that's kind of when it started.
How's that journey been? What have you done, or not what have you done? What did you do initially and kind of to where you're at now? Yeah,
I've done, little ones here and there, starting smaller, and I just keep working on, getting better with the delivery, and, I change it up for different places I go, different conferences and stuff, and kind of focus on what their crowd needs to hear. It's scary. I was really scared at first, stepping out on stage, thinking, because, I grew up on stage. However, I'm here doing these seemingly impossible things. So me just standing there talking, it's like, oh, I'm boring. You don't want to watch me. They don't want to hear me. So it was pretty scary. I'm better now. I'm much more comfortable now. But yeah, so it's a whole other thing, it's a whole other thing to get kind of through and to build a new career. It's challenging at times, but I love it. I think it's very rewarding. So yeah.
Interesting. I just asked because I'm still newer to it and working on just getting more reps in, I guess I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for
That's it. Yeah.
That competition.
That was great because you didn't have much prep time, right? If I remember, you did.
That was my own fault.
Was it?
Yeah. So I knew about the competition in November.
Oh.
I kept thinking, okay, I got time to practice or write the speech. I didn't write it until maybe 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And then I didn't practice it until like a few days before.
Wow.
So it was more so memorized than everything. And that's kind of the feedback I got. They said it sounded like kind of reading off a script.
Yeah.
Compared me to Joel Osteen.
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know if you remember. She said that. And I was like, I'll take it.
I don't remember that.
Whatever.
Yeah. He's pretty successful.
Yeah, he's a known guy. Hey, whatever. There it is again. That's
that's funny.
The word calling me.
Yeah.
But anywho, and yeah, that's, for me, I'm that kind of learner and doer, I guess. I want to do and not look good. I don't care about looking good. Like I want to do it, and I want to hear the people say, okay, you need to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And personally, I don't need compliment sandwiches.
Yeah.
I know it's a thing people like to do, but me, I like to hear
feedback.
Like what do I need to do to get better?
Yeah.
It's kind of good to know you did good, but sometimes I already know. I want to know what is it going to take to make this go to the next level.
Sure.
And once I joined the association, that competition was kind of what the thing I would want to do. If I wish you could do that every week.
Yeah.
That's the goal for me. That's how I'm going to learn.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was my first time doing it. It was great. Got great response. A few people came up to me after telling how it touched them. Mm-hmm. Especially some people who struggled with alcohol. Mm-hmm. John, I had him on podcast.
John DiDomenico?
Yeah, right after.
I just saw him.
I saw you guys together at the Influence.
Yeah, I just saw him earlier today too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's character, man.
Love him. Yeah.
Love his energy. Yep. He's great.
Yeah.
He came on my podcast. He was telling me how his brother passed from alcohol after I spoke. And yeah, speaking it's great. I love it. I want to do more of it.
Yeah.
I want that to be the main.
You need to.
Main thing for me.
Yeah.
But I just struggle with where to start.
Yeah.
Where, who, what.
Yeah, it's hard. I struggle with that as well. It's hard to know kind of where to break into it and all. But you definitely need to be doing it. You got a story that has to be told, So So, and that's good that you want that feedback. I'm the one who grew up always, everything was very practiced before I went on stage being a performer. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to look bad on stage. Like I'm bad. I want the feedback, but I don't want to, I'm not like you. I don't want to look bad on stage. I do get like insecure and embarrassed. So that's great that you have that, you know?
No, yeah. I mean, definitely next time got to prepare more and better. There were certain things what caused me not to win. And then I was thinking about it because I was like, damn, when I saw the Influence, you went to Influence?
Uh-huh.
Did you see or hear the competition?
I did.
Were they good?
Yeah. The one who won was good.
Really?
Yeah, really good. They all three were really good, actually.
Yeah. Have to be to make it that point.
Yeah.
Where were they from? Do you know? Do you remember the winner?
The one who won was from New York area, I believe. But one of the women I sat down with lunch with was one of the competitors, and her son is Jack Harlow. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. So she was one of the top 3 finalists. She was good too. So yeah. No, they were great.
I need to go listen to the video.
Yeah.
I want to see. Damn.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be my stage.
You'll
But anyways, next time.
Next time, yeah.
So now that you're speaking, what is your overall focus or goal now moving forward? Like, you want to become the best speaker ever? You still want to do your wire work? Like, what's the big goal or focus next for?
Yeah. Well, I really do want to start doing more bigger speaking gigs with the wire, you know, my hope is to like be on stage speaking, and then one of my video plays, and then all of a sudden I'm up on the wire over their heads, walking across, surprise them, you know.
Ooh.
I really think it could be powerful.
Yeah.
And like my heart really is to like hopefully encourage these people. It's a hurting world. There's a lot going on in this world. You know, there's a lot of people hurting. And so I'm hoping that if I could just help one person get through their day a little bit with a little bit of confidence, then it's worth it, you know? So yeah, and I of course I want to keep doing more performing. I love performing. So, you know, I would love to combine the two.
What would you say is your best, or not best, has been to your most like powerful walk that you've done, like for yourself?
I mean, I would say the Times Square walk, because that was overcoming
right after the accident
so
and stuff?
much. Yeah, that was overcoming the accident, fear, all like that fear didn't have a hold on me anymore, you know? So I would say I think that has to be, I mean, I've done others that are pretty cool, but that one has to be the winner, I think.
What's the highest you've done?
The Times Square 250 feet. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I need to look at that video.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the video in the description. I'm going to find it, put it on the
okay,
podcast episode, because everybody needs to see that. That's, and your brother still does it currently. Does he speak also, or no?
Yeah, he spoke with me at the one 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And do your parents still perform?
My mom, she did a couple years ago. I'm sure she'll get on the wire with us this winter. She's 72, still up on the wire. So,
damn.
Yeah.
And then you have a 5-year-old, or not?
Well, now he's 14. Yeah.
Is he doing wire walking?
You know, after Times Square, he loved all the attention from the cameras. So he learned how to walk a wire. He's 14 now. He's like, I don't want to walk. You know, he's gone through a phase. So I don't know. We'll see. But whatever he wants, you know.
Is there any generation after you guys?
Well, my brother's kids, 2 of them just had babies. So I got a great nephew and a great niece. So yeah, I don't know, but not on the wire yet. No, none of them are quite old enough. My cousin's kids are old enough, but they're not. They're performing a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to keep the Wallenda.
Yeah. There you go.
I almost said it wrong.
you got it though. You nailed it. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
And what do you think you've learned through your wire walking that's helped you with just everyday life?
Well, I feel like I said, I'm a costume designer. I run the wardrobe department over at a show here. And it's often a lot of things coming at me at once, and a lot of pressure, and this has to be done by this, and this. But I'm pretty good at handling all that pressure, you know, because I'm used to very high pressure situations, you know. It's interesting when I was training for Times Square, my brother wanted me to talk to this woman who was a therapist to help people get over PTSD. And she was talking to me about putting the image I saw right before I fell in a box. Like, she had me close my eyes and envision it. And she's going through all these steps. And then she goes, okay, I want you to push it to the side and push that box with that image behind you. And I said, oh, I did that as soon as you told me to put it in there. And she goes, oh yeah, see, you don't need me. Because it was just like, I was like, oh yeah, no, that's done. Get that out of my view. And I just think it's helped me with that. Like all that stuff has to stay on the ground when you're walking the wire. All that, you know, if you have I had a fight with my brother, that's got to stay on the ground, you know, whatever it might be. you don't feel good, too bad. You got to leave that on the ground and go up there and, perform to your fullest because your life depends on it. So I think it's just helped me with stuff like that, high pressure situations and, kind of sucking it up when things aren't ideal in life,
What are some of the world records you hold?
I only hold the one for the 4-level 8-person pyramid on the wire. My brother's the world record holder in our family. He has something like, I want to say 8. I don't even know. He's got a whole bunch.
Overachiever.
He's an overachiever. Yeah. I know.
Wow, that's so good to have just having one.
I might have another one soon. We're not sure.
You might?
Just saying, yeah.
Are you allowed to say?
No. I've said maybe. I don't know. Keep an eye out.
I will. Shit. Don't ask me to come out there. I would walk away. No, I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Oh, if I started training you down low.
Like a 2-footer, yeah.
Yeah, but.
What do you think it mostly is? I'm sure there's a couple components that go into it.
Yeah.
I would assume it's balance, coordination.
No.
Wow, really?
It's the work ethic to keep coming back and practicing and practicing and practicing. You're an athlete, right? You're
I do a little this and then that.
Yeah. You have that drive. It's that drive to keep practicing and pushing through. And when I train new people on the wire, like I just was training some people in Florida for my brother. We do laps back and forth on the wire, and they were doing like 5, and I was like, doing 20, kid. What are you doing? And I'd go up there and I'd push them like we're doing, and your arms start burning and your wrists start uncurling. I go, nope, curl your wrist. It's about pushing through that pain and keeping going. I think it's about having that determination, and then to move up high, it's about having a strong mind and reminding yourself this is the same thing up high as it was down low.
Damn, that's so hard. Because when you're low,
because you can bail.
You have that safety net.
But see, that's why my parents would never let my brother and I jump off the wire down low. If we would step off, they'd make us physically turn and grab the wire to get that in our body, in our mind. Because it's life or death up there, right? So
yeah, because if I know I'm only 2 feet down, I'm okay. I just go. I ain't tripping. But if I know I'm 50, I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you when you did you said 13, but is there like a level before they allow you to go without safety?
So I was on a low wire, and then I moved up to a 10-foot wire. Yeah. And then when I was 13, I went 30 foot up with no safety. Yeah. I did smaller things in the act. I didn't start out doing the standing on a chair on a pyramid yet, but you start just walking out and doing the simplest thing, but you start doing that and you get experience, and then you start getting more and more things you're allowed to do in the act, depending on what my parents thought I was capable of. So. Damn. But yeah, no, I didn't have a safety at 13. Now, they didn't let me perform before that because they wanted to make sure I was old enough to understand the risks involved. So. And
does the family still go? Is it tour?
My brother has his own show that he does down in Florida right now, but we kind of do our own different events here and there. We don't have a show that tours per se right now. Okay. So, but my brother has his own show. My brother and sister-in-law in Sarasota, Florida, winter circus that they do. So.
And then when you perform out here, is it like your own thing you set up? Or is it part of other?
It would be. I was in a show here for a while. That was probably the last time I performed here in Vegas. I was in a show here with my wire act for quite a while, and had some men in there that I trained for the wire act. But yeah, I would probably, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's next here in Vegas.
You must have something.
No, I don't. But I'm trying. I want to walk across the Raider Stadium. I have all these
damn,
things I want to do.
Raider Stadium?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool?
You out there, somebody?
Right.
Set it up.
Right.
Quan, somebody? No. Yeah. What if you did from the win to the encore?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or what else is around you? I don't know. Something
anything. I walk across the strip for New Year's. I don't know. There's so many different cool things that could be done. So.
With the fireworks in the background and everything.
Right.
That'd be so fucking aesthetically just
Or F1. I want to walk across F1 while the cars are going underneath. Wouldn't that be cool?
Damn, you're so different. Just the idea of the cars and stuff, that would throw me off man.
I think that'd be cool.
Besides Vegas, do you have any dream walks that you've thought of in your mind?
I just would like to do a walk with my mom.
Wow.
I haven't done with my mom. I've done a bunch with my brother. My brother's done with my mom, but I haven't done one with my mom. So I'm like, maybe at some point my mom and I could do it, but no specific location that I can think of right now. But I think that'd be cool.
Does your father walk?
He used to. He still can. He's retired. He's bad back and all that. He's our mastermind for all our rigging and stuff. He's in charge of coming up with all the ideas of how to get how to get a cable stretch across Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls and all the crazy things my brother has done, So
Damn, across the Grand Canyon.
yeah.
That's a different kind of family, man. Different kind of family values. I love it. I love it. We need stories like this, people like this who are doing extraordinary things that you never think of. I never thought I'd meet a wire walker, but it was a story that I told
Yep.
that connected me with that person.
Yeah.
And that's why I have this podcast and have guests like you on, is I feel we connect more when we share more of our story, but also not just sharing, also being more curious to hear other people's story.
Yeah.
Because it's not always about us.
Exactly.
Me.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the world, it can seem that way with people.
Yeah.
They're so focused on what can they get, what can they gain.
Yeah.
When I think if you shift your focus to what could I do to help somebody?
Yeah, you're right.
That opens so many different doors and so many different connections. You'd be surprised. Like when I made that mind shift to myself, that's where I'm able to meet people like you, like John, other people I've met. Is just figuring out how can I be of service to others.
Yeah.
And then after that, they're going to keep you in mind when certain things come up.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
oh, I need somebody for this. Oh, actually Dorian or Lijana. I almost said Lawana again.
You got it.
I don't know why. It just,
Well,
it
that's
seems.
the way it's spelled. It's hard. I know.
Lawana.
The J's like a Y. Liana.
Yeah,
the J's like a
it's
Y.
not Lawana.
No,
I'm trying. Wait, it's
you
Liana.
said it right. Liana, yeah.
Lawana. I don't know where I'm getting that from. I'm trying to make it Hispanic or something.
I know.
Lijuana.
Everyone does.
Yeah, and you're not Hispanic.
I'm not.
Oh,
no.
okay. Well, sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, it's the power of storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. Do you plan on writing a book or anything?
I do. Yeah, I haven't had time to visit. I was working with someone on it. I'll get back to it. I haven't had time to kind of do it, but I do. I think I need to. Because there's so many different little stories that I have to tell, I think. And yes, I hope to. Yeah,
it's in my list of many things, but definitely writing a book at some point. It just seems like it is going to be a lot. No lie about it. And
it is.
But I think it's needed. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Then you can go on a book tour.
Yeah.
And then you can speak
together. We can go both on a book tour together with our books.
And you can walk the wire. I'll watch. I'll motivate. I'm not going to do it.
Unless you start training in my backyard. We'll see.
You can be on the 50-foot boy. I'll be on the 1.5 foot on the bottom.
Hey,
and
works.
it'll be contrast of the message we're delivering.
Yes.
It don't matter how high your wire is.
Exactly.
It's about your journey. Stay focused. Stay on your wire.
That's good.
Boom.
Like that.
That's a message. That's a word right there without even trying.
That was good.
Yeah. What else I need to know? Anything you feel like we need to touch on that we haven't yet? Anything you want to share with the world? Open up. What's going on?
I don't know. It's not a whole lot. I feel like I told you my whole life story,
No, there's something deeper in there. There's got to be some trauma. Well, there was that trauma event. Sorry.
No, there's other trauma, but maybe we don't talk about that today.
Oh, that's good to know.
We all have things, right? We all have things go through that makes life hard.
Was coming back from that fall and accident the hardest thing you had to get through?
My divorce, I think, was the hardest thing I had to get through.
There it is.
Which was a couple years before the accident.
Wow. How long were you guys married?
16 years, almost 1 month shy of 16 years. So it was pretty tough. So my divorce, I would say, was probably harder, which is crazy to say, but it was tough.
What's hard? I've never been married or anything, but I can imagine emotionally that's 16 years. You're with, or 16
and together
married.
19. I was 17 when we started dating, so we were together 19 years. Yeah, it was crazy. It was pretty messy, but that's okay.
And that's your son's father. So after getting divorced 16 years, did you struggle with identity? And like, who am I?
Sure. Well, I got divorced, and then it was about 2 years later, I found myself in the trauma unit with a broken face, looked like a monster, and I turned 40, single woman in the trauma unit. It was really hard, All that stuff all like kind of piled on top. All of it kind of came out when I was in the trauma unit, right? Because it was tough. It was tough. But, God carried me through it all. I mean, I came out better at the other end out of all of it. I think all this trauma we go through, we can either, it can bring us way down and we never bounce back, or we can use it to make us stronger and learn from it and be wiser and live life more fuller after it. And I feel like I've come out the other end a stronger, wiser person. And I'm happy. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. The other day, this is random, but the other day there's this one tooth up here that's slightly crooked, and they were trying to, since the accident, I had braces after the accident. I'd knocked out teeth. I sheared teeth in half. It was nuts. So I had all this stuff. But there's this one tooth that's slightly crooked, and my dog's got my retainers. So the doctor talked me into getting Invisalign.
Your dog has a retainer?
No, they got mine.
Oh, I thought the dog
I want my dogs to have perfect teeth.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
No, they got my retainers. So instead of replacing them, I talked to the doctor and decided to get Invisalign just to straighten this tooth faster.
Yeah.
And on Monday they put these little nubs on my teeth and put them in. And I thought I was going to cry again. All the accident trauma came rushing in because all that, I had so many different versions of stuff in my mouth. And I was like spiraling. I was really upset. But then I sit back and remember how far God has carried me, how all this stuff, all this muck and mire that God has carried me through, and where I am now. And this is just a small thing,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so thankful that I have a mouth to put Invisalign in that's making me upset. Do you know what I mean? That I'm alive and here to get the Invisalign. So there's still times like that where I'm like, oh, this really sucks and all. I don't know why. It was so weird. I didn't think it was anything. And it's like, I don't know if you had braces or Invisalign ever, but it's
I wish.
It's like a constant little subtle pain at first. Yeah. And I think it was that in the background, and it just triggered all these feelings I had like after the accident. Yeah. It was weird. I was like, what is wrong with me?
You said, how long was your accident after divorce?
Let's see. I guess it was about 2.5 years after.
Okay. I thought you said 2.5 months. I was like, damn.
Oh, no.
That's a nice little
2.5
trauma
years.
Little situation there.
Yeah, that would have been a little trauma package, wouldn't it have?
Yeah, so mine was very packaged within a year's span. So I fell out a 4-story window.
Yeah.
And then I healed and everything, and 9 months later, my best friend died from inhaled his own vomit.
Oh, no.
And then 2 months after that, I go to jail. So then I went to jail a year to the day of my accident.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and I was in there for 2 months. So my body was still kind of recovering.
Yeah, of course.
And then I'm still like grieving my best friend.
Of course.
So I was in jail for 2 months, and man, don't do stupid shit. Don't go to jail.
You had nothing to do but sit there and think on all of it, right?
That was hard.
I can't imagine.
There's no phone. There's no
distractions.
Can't get out. Can't go nowhere. You got to stay in your cell. You got to eat their food, So it's that in the moment sucked. But like I said earlier with the other thing, like when I look back on it in full scope of things where I'm at now, that was what helped me build all the mental toughness and resilience that I've had now.
Yeah.
And my outlook on life.
Yep.
To where I don't cry over spilt milk. I don't, like a friend of mine, she said the other day jokingly, like, yeah, you just don't care about anything. And I had to think about it. I was like, it's not that I don't care. I just accept things for what they are.
Yeah.
And I allow things to be. I still have emotions, still get sad, mad, happy. But when things don't go my way, that I don't go all crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When things do go my way, I don't get too crazy, happily stuck in that emotion. Like I love it.
Yeah.
But if you allow yourself to only have your moods up and down based off external things, you're not in control of anything.
Exactly.
The outside world is always in control of you, and you're just a little puppet.
Yeah. It shouldn't be circumstances that control you. It should be within you.
You.
I mean, that's like when I talk about in the trauma unit, there were times that we were laughing so hard, and like we have good memories in the hospital because the circumstance sucked, right? But you can find joy in everything, I feel like.
Yeah. All right, 2 questions as we finish up here. First one is, what advice would you give? What age? Let me think. What advice would you give yourself prior to your accident?
I mean, gosh, that's a hard one. I guess that I would tell myself that I'm stronger than I know, because I never knew I could get through all of that. I think I would tell myself, no, you got this. You're stronger than you know. Just keep going. Keep your eyes on God, and you got this. So yeah, I think I would tell myself that.
And if there's a quote you live by, what is it and why?
It's really simple and cliche. I thought about this. It's really simple, but it was really passed down from generations of my family, and it's so overused and cliche, but never give up, because I think I've embodied the never give up. I didn't know that was in me. I would be told stories of past generations that the 7-person pyramid fell in 1962, and like my grandmother watched her husband, who was my step grandfather, fall to his death and all this, and I didn't understand this, and why are they still performing and all this? But being through it all, I think I've really lived that, never giving up. And whether it's walking the wire or, doing whatever menial task, whatever it is, I think I carry that in life. Just don't give up, keep going, keep pushing through,
I love that.
Good.
Sometimes the cliche ones are really the ones that can keep us going.
Yeah, simple. And
if you act on them and actually utilize them.
Exactly. I think that too many people give up on things too easily if it's not going their way. And I think you got to push through that hard part to get to the good stuff.
Woo! A word. Thank you, Lijana. The whole time I was thinking about the name. For making time. You're amazing. High wire walker. That's phenomenal.
Thanks.
Shout out to you for continuing to do that. Even after your accident, you never gave up.
Never gave up.
The family tree be fucking happy. Proud of you. All right. As we finish up here, real quick before we finish, if you've stopped drinking or you cut back and you're feeling unsure of yourself, alone, lost, confused, not knowing what to do next, I have the workshop for you. The Reset Workshop is going to be free on Zoom, August 27th, hosted by yours truly. I know how it feels when you give up alcohol and you don't know what to do next. Do I get rid of my friends? How do I date? How do I move? What do I do on the weekends? I'm lost. Help. I'm here to help you. The link is in the description. I want to see you there. I want to help you get through this journey of sobriety, whether you're going completely sober or you're thinking about cutting back. Now, I got to leave you with the word. Your fall doesn't define you. It reveals the strength you never knew you had. A lot of the times we avoid falling because we're scared we're going to look a certain way. We're scared we might not get back up. But that rock bottom moment is where you find out who you truly are and what you're really made of. So embrace that dark, rock bottom, hard shit, because it's just showing you or reminding you of what you're capable of. Keep grinding. 2 words. Keep growing.